Hey, welcome to your BRANDT report for the week. Let's check in with BRANDT's technical agronomist, Ed Corrigan. Ed, at Pleasant Plains, as we start the week, how do things look to you where you sit today?
Our corn is just starting to show a few tassels on some of the earliest hybrids. We're expecting full tassel by the end of the week on a lot of stuff. We did have some wind come through, push down some of the root lodge, the numbers that either were real high populations or just didn't have a fantastic root system. But so far it looks very good. We're getting good nutrition. Some of the nutrition trials are starting to demonstrate just a small amount of yellow leaf on the bottom. The soybeans themselves are starting to really take off and grow. Of course, the warm temperatures, and now if we can get some sunshine. But we're seeing huge amounts of boron deficiency showing up in tissue tests, so we're really armed and ready to go with fungicide and boron just as soon as the weather allows us. The next thing we're really looking for and seeing is northern corn leaf blight starting to come in, so we want to be vigilant on our hybrids that have any susceptibility to northern. This is the type of weather pattern where we could really have a lot of northern. Also really looking for, with these southerly winds, earworms to come in.
Well, lots going on for sure, and as you mentioned, welcoming any sunshine we can get. Sounds like your part of the state has been even, I guess, a little luckier than north and south.
Yeah, we've really had some gorgeous weather. It's almost been a little difficult to mow grass. You know, it's been that steady of a rainfall every day, but it's still the crop's doing very well. We're having difficulty getting in and killing some of the weeds in our bean fields. So the guys that did a great job of getting their residuals down are in really good shape, and those that didn't are sometimes suffering if they weren't able to quite get all their beans covered. But we're looking at a pretty good crop. We've got some wet spots, obviously. Those have some yellowed areas, but it's not really due to a lot of nitrogen loss at this point. It's just due to too wet of a soil for the root system to be able to pick up any nitrogen, nutrients of all kinds. And then also, if they can't get oxygen, they really struggle with the ability to do any kind of growth or photosynthesis.
Ed, let's go back to what you're doing today and a little bit more on that fungicide conversation, because farmers do have a lot to consider, lots of things to weigh. Talk a little bit about the fungicide application and where your thoughts are right now.
So I'm really focused on any of the fields that are stressed, and by stressed I mean if they have some nutrient deficiency, if they have some low soil tests. This is one of those crops where any kind of disease that moves in could do a lot of damage. If we've got a super, super good-looking field, the response to the fungicide is going to be minimal unless we've got a disease moving in, and we typically don't see the diseases hit our very best nutrition crops. But what I would expect is that anything with any kind of stress, insect stress, root stress, something of that nature, that could really be a big response. And if a guy is able to get in there and do anything, this crop, we've seen this in 2004, 2014, and now 2015, I believe. This will be the year that boron will really pay at this tassel time. We were getting that 7 to 9 bushel bump out of boron, just one application, and that's because the boron is so mobile in the soil and isn't able to be manufactured correctly in these really wet conditions.
Great stuff. Anything else, Ed, that I didn't ask or that you want farmers to chew on this week ahead?
So when we think about the soybean crop as we move ahead, we really should be into that solstice, summer solstice, and we should start to see flowering occur. If you're in an area that has the potential for white mold, if the temperatures stay really warm, we won't have a lot of white mold, thank goodness. If it starts to cool off, the potential for white mold could be great. And at this flowering stage, that's when you want to do as much as you can to either use something to burn the flowers just a little bit and get that response from the soybean plant to ward off that disease as best we can.
Ed Corrigan with this week's BRANDT Report.